Good morning, viewers. I thought I would show you what my morning looks like. It's about 6 o'clock right now. Good morning, Goldie. We found you. Are you ready to go in the house now? Did you do an all-nighter? Okay, hold on. So that is a happening thing. We're not always able to find where Miss Goldie's at in the evenings when we're locking up, and she determines whether she's going to stay in or out. We don't fight it. So in the morning, sometimes now when it's the 6 o'clock run, sometimes it's earlier when they have to get up at 3 or 4, she'll pop out and I can catch her up and bring her. But that's just a part of my morning. It starts out with the dogs. My Sega Palms are doing very well. The dog's going out. I walk Jewel around, the Great Dane. She is not trustworthy to let go. The front of our property is not fenced yet because there's a shortage of both help and materials, I guess, to make wire. Jerry and I were talking the other day, we may have to change the widths of the wire that we want. Right now I think it's 4x4 with a strand of barbed wire on top, and the welded wire around the perimeter of the property and in the paddocks is for the goats. The cows are out on hot wire, and the goats probably would do okay on it. We haven't tested it yet. I wonder if we can see. Yeah, there's the little guy. I'm gonna focus in. They're telescopic. Little guy is on the other side of the watering tank, and there he goes, doing his little dance. Mama's standing close by. Here he comes. I love it. I just love it. So I walk the dogs. They go back in the house. We wait for Jerry to get up. He's not a morning person. Morning gunner. And one of the dogs, Great Dane actually, eats in the bedroom. We have a feeding system, but he's not up yet for whoa, Speedy Gonzales. So we go back in the house. I've got my paperwork to do, or I crochet or whatever. But my outside work in the morning right now while it's cool is what I'm going to show you next. Here's a fun fact for you for about today. It's 6:30ish. It's 85 degrees out here. There's a slight breeze. You can see this tall Johnson grass kind of waving out there. The high is to be 90. We are under a second day of heat advisory from both the weather departments in Tulsa and Springfield, National Weather Service, and also from our electric company to reduce our usage of electricity during the day so that we don't have brownouts. So, fun facts. So, because of that, not necessarily the heat advisory, but the heat, I do my watering first thing in the morning. It doesn't work as well in the evening. There's just, the weather is cooled down enough to where we can do a few things, and so I've chosen to water in the morning. Now, these trees are these fruit trees out here in the back. This one is a Bing cherry tree, have been attacked by the Japanese beetle, and I have not ever had this happen before. My little tree grove out in the front by the garden has had moths, what they call web moths, over the last couple years. I haven't seen anything this year yet, but maybe I'm too early in talking about it. But the Japanese beetle has migrated south and got my trees, and I think I have it because I have the trees. I haven't had trees in the front like this before. So in addition to watering, I've been picking them off, but because they are getting all the trees, not just my fruit trees, but my shade trees that I've got going, we got yesterday morning these Japanese beetle bag catchers at MFA. Let's see, yeah, I don't want to go too close. And the dark at the bottom here of the bag is what we've captured so far, just in this one bag. Directions say to place them 30 feet from your trees to draw them away from your trees. And in looking over the trees this morning, I do know that I have found less of the beetles on there. And here's one right here. I'll pick him off after I get it. So right here, on the underside, and he got away, but not for long. So there's a few in my water buckets, but that's what I'm going to do right now. Set this camera up and get my watering going. I have a hole at the bottom, not a big hole, not a big hole, but it's right here in the bottom. This is a 4-gallon bucket that I have retrieved from the jam shop. Here's a hole right here, and then it'll water. And I move the bucket around so that each day, when one part of the tree gets more than the other. This one has a hole plug, obviously. Set the camera here for a minute. I've got a piece of wire that I'll poke the hole, clean the hole out. But you can see those are some of the bugs that have fallen in here or that I threw in here yesterday. And I do not see as many on the trees as I have in past days. So let's get the camera set up and I'll start with the water process. Okay, it's the last one in the tree line. 4-gallon bucket. Got these from the jam shop. There's a hole in the bottom that, hole in the bottom for it to kind of like be like a drip system. And it, slowly goes through. Only takes less than a half an hour or so, because I double check to make sure all the water gets in there. And see how that goes. Looks like I have a kink, so hold on. These 2 buckets are for the maple trees out along the road outside of the corral, and they are fresh planted this year. so they're not established roots enough to do well. And I know that because the Burgundy Bell maple has dried up the leaves. It looks like a fall tree right now. I talked to my nursery lady who I bought the tree from, and she said in my conversation I had the answer that with this excessive up and down heat, excessive heat we've had over the last 3 or 4 weeks, did not prepare the maple trees. They weren't established enough to take it, so I needed to bucket water them every day. So then I knew by the bucket water a plant, a tree that was in the ground, then I wasn't watering my other trees that are in pots enough. And I was watering them twice a week with a 3-gallon bucket of water each. And she said that's all well and good, but it's best if you can just poke a hole in a 5-gallon bucket and do it like that. So that's my madness. And I've chosen, like I said, to do it in the morning. I'll go out here and do these other 3 trees in my willow. Chose to do it in the morning because there's more, not as much action in the morning as there is in the evening. So this black bucket I'll fill up to about a 4-gallon bucket, and it will take care of my willow tree, my curly willow tree that's out here. I do know that they like wet feet, so it does need to be watered more frequently. So that's what the black bucket's for. While I take care of that tree, I'll fill up these buckets, one of these buckets, probably this one here. This tree is a crimson, what is it? I have to read upside down. Nectarine tree. This is our nectarine tree. It hasn't been hit too bad. And very interesting update on facts that we've got a lot of clouds coming in. When I was outside here at 4 o'clock, oops, gotta watch my bucket, I saw lightning north of us, and now I'm hearing thunder. The wind's picking up from the south. I think there's some kind of tropical storm down there, and so we may get a little summer shower, which doesn't matter. I'll still water. It's a routine. You change your routine, it goes away. So I'm going to put this on pause while I go out and water the willow tree and be back. And I'm making a mad dash back to the house because it is raining, and I'll finish this up later, finish my chores up later. But as I close, this is the beetle catcher for out here by the house, and it's covered. There's a good inch up here of these bugs. I just can't believe we had that many on here. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's kind of jerky-lurky. That's how it is when you only have one hand to do your thing and do a video. So catch you on the next one. Share, like, subscribe, and appreciate you all.